What's up, guys? This is Saber from the Neighborhood coming back at you with another video. This time we're going to be talking about 4 different ways to beat this common internet base with the exposed town hall around the 9 o'clock side. So let's get right into it. I have with me today this new app I've been working on called Udoodle, or not that I've been working on, that I've been working with, let me say. And we're going to use this to sort of use a sketch-style plan to explain the strategy for each of the attacks that we're going to move forward with. So the first one we'll talk about today is the mass hog strategy. And you'll see a composition in a second when I show the actual raid. But what we're about to do today is go over this attack first. So the idea is basically this. You're going to start with sort of a kill team of a couple of ice golems, 1 to 2, a P.E.K.K.A., potentially some wizards and your heroes, and you're going to try and get this town hall, right? So let me mark, I will mark things that we're trying to kill in red. So we're trying to get the town hall, we're trying to get the queen, we're trying to get the warden tower, we're trying to get the clan support, and anything we can get in sort of this area. Those are our goals. So the question then becomes, how do we do that? Well, the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to start by deploying 2 ice golems. I'm going to put one in about there, and I'm going to send in the second one about here. And what that's going to do is it's going to draw all of the fire from those couple of expos, cannon, the town hall, the queen herself, onto those ice golems. I'm going to follow that up with a P.E.K.K.A. We'll make P.E.K.K.As purple for today, and we're going to deploy a P.E.K.K.A. right here on this storage right here. And what that's going to do is force the top side of the funnel, sort of, basically, right? And sort of have our troops make a wall right here. And so the only way the troops can go is in towards that town hall. We're going to back him up with a lone wizard. So I'm going to put my little W for wizard there, right? That's a terrible drawing, but you understand my meaning. And then we're going to come in with our heroes. And so we'll put our heroes in... we'll just do the heroes in this spacey looking color over here. This will be our heroes. So we're going to do heroes, and the heroes go in. And their goal is to get all of the things that we just mentioned. Now, assuming that all of that works, we then start with mass hogs from the back end. So from this side, we're going to start with our stone slammer, and I'm going to mark the slammer in red. I'm going to put the slammer right about here. I'm going to put a big blob with an S and just sort of mark it going in. And we're going to follow up the slammer with a massive horde of hogs. Now, it's important that I want all of the hogs to start from here in sort of a line style formation going in. And the reason for that is if you spread them too much over here, you're going to lose that wave sort of overpowering force that 40 hogs coming together have. Again, beneficially, you're going to see that there's single target infernos. In fact, 3 single target infernos. So the real big issue you're going to face is the wizard towers and the eagle artillery. And with the help of our grand warden, who we'll put in blue, I guess, I'll say GW, he's going to be coming in behind them, and that should get them through the first warden shot. And that would allow, the eagle artillery to go down, and then from there, just basically use your heal spells as necessary in sort of a normal hog raid. So what you'll see is Rose sorts of use like one heal spell here-ish, maybe another one like here-ish, you'll see a third one like here. And in this attack strategy, it is 1 rage spell for that kill team, which I forgot to mention, so allow me to draw that in. And it's all heal spells on the hogs. So this whole area is going to be raged up. And then once you can pull that off, this will be an easy 3-star. As long as that kill team goes well, there are more than enough hogs just to overwhelm this base. Even if there were multi-infernos, it truly wouldn't be a problem. You'd be getting 1 multi with the initial hog wave as well as the Grand Warden's ability, and you have 4 heal spells left usually by that point to deal with the other multi-target infernos. So that's the plan for this, and now let's see how the actual raid went. Actual raid on number 6, Venom by Rosemary L, which is me. So I'm not sure why I'm really referring in the third person, but we're going to see how this actually works out in practice. So first thing is the P.E.K.K.A. goes down with the wizard as backup. 2 ice golems come down just like the plan, and there come the heroes. The P.E.K.K.A. has done his job and made the funnel on that top side, right? And as those ice golems explode, they freeze that Tesla farm, which you knew was going to be there. The second ice golem just goes down as well, freezing the warden tower. And the king is able to take care of all of those Teslas. A nice poison spell comes down to deal with that witch and the clan support. A baby dragon's going to go down to that poison spell momentarily. There he's gone now. The ice golem will die in a second, which will freeze our troops a little bit, and that's how we're going to lose our king to the single target inferno. But we have a full health queen with an unused ability, which is more than enough to take down the town hall and grab a whole bunch of extra value, maybe get a cannon or a expo here in this center area. So I'm going to speed it up to 2 times, and there you have it. She actually does get the expo and begins to work her way around the edge. And then just as we mentioned, we start here with the hogs, and the Hogs come in with the Stone Slammer behind them. You don't want the Stone Slammer to be taking the brunt of the fire, but notice that we used a couple of heal spells to get us through there, and we got to the Eagle Artillery without using the Warden ability. That was slightly different than the original plan, but it did work out. We used the Warden ability when we could get as many Hogs as possible in there, and we saved some of the Stone Slammer health. As you can see, we still have 3 heal spells, well now 2 as I just dropped that one, and now 1 as I dropped that one left, as so many Hogs are just moving through the base. Those single target Infernos are not enough to overwhelm nearly 30 Hogs. We've taken very few losses at this point, and it's just not enough. This base is absolutely smacked. So I'm going to put it up to 4 times, and we can watch the cleanup. And then we'll go back to the drawing board to talk about another strategy for taking down this base. Alright folks, well here we are back at the drawing board, excuse that stray mark, and we're going to talk about the next way to beat this base, and that is by using a mass dragon style attack. So Shady Titan ends up being the one to execute this assault during the war. I'm going to use this nice maroon color to be our dragons, and I'm going to use a similar sort of dark blue that I used in the first video to be our heroes. So what Shady does here is you're going to see his king coming at the top, and I lost a little bit of the top of the base there, unfortunately. But I'm going to put K and Q, and their job is basically going to be to work around this side of the base. The king is going to go sort of that way, and the queen's going to go sort of this way. And what that'll do is that'll pick off this air defense, hopefully, a couple of these side defenses, right? Maybe we get an archer tower, a cannon, you know, some of this. Maybe we get that wizard tower and the archer tower if we're lucky, but that's kind of our goal, right, when we're looking at this. And what that's going to do is it sort of builds the right side of the funnel. And so then we're going to follow that up immediately by our dragons. Once those sort of goals are done, we're going to send our dragons in from the top. And the dragons you can spread out a little bit, but we're going to want something like this. And so everywhere I put a line is like a dragon, right? So dragons all the way down this edge, and you want one kind of on the side just to build the funnel. And then in this composition, there is one Electro Dragon, which I'll use the light blue for here. And that one Electro Dragon you're probably going to want to send in with the main pack somewhere around the middle area. He's kind of good for funneling. And then last but certainly not least, you're going to have your Slammer, which I will draw as a blob. And you're also going to have some balloons. So those balloons you're going to want to put out in front of the dragons, where I'm drawing these lines, just so they can be used to intercept any seeking air mines. And the goal basically being, this is being a frozen dragon attack that you're going to use a couple of rage spells. So you're probably going to rage like here, and maybe like, you know, I don't know, over here once your troops sort of path this way. But you have a whole ton of freeze spells, which I will actually, it's nice on this app I have an ice color. So you're going to think maybe I want to freeze this guy early on, maybe I want to freeze this guy early on, maybe potentially freeze this town hall later on. But those are your options. You're going to have 5 or 6 freeze spells, right? And as soon as that CC comes out, if you can hit if you can hit multiple targets with the freeze spell, knock down maybe an air defense and the single target Inferno and an Expo in this area, that would be really beneficial. Over here, single target Inferno, air defense, and Expo over here. That's an area of free spell can be really valuable. So now that we've outlined the plan, let's go back to the actual attack and see how it was executed. We're back again, looking at the next attack, and here we have number 8, Shady Titan, against their number 10, Demon. So we're going to look at how this dragon attack breaks down this base. And we're going to start at the top. We're deploying those heroes, right? So we have the Barbarian King. He's sort of building that corner funnel, and he's going to end up heading down towards that sort of 9 o'clock side. And that's what we want for him. We basically want him to build a sidecar, distract some defenses from the queen. The queen is going to walk more towards the 3 o'clock side from 12, and her goal is to get that air defense. If she can get all the way down to that archer tower over here, that would be beneficial, but we will see what she can do. So she just sort of works her way down. The Expo unfortunately targets her. We use the poison spell a little bit prematurely over there to take this down. And I'm not sure why I'm saying we, because these are other players at this point. But the queen does her job. She gets a whole bunch of defenses and builds a nice right side for the funnel. And so here come our dragons coming in around this edge, and we're using the Electro Dragon to build the edge of the funnel. We deploy all of the balloons out in front to sort of soak up air mines, and the dragons are coming in. As you can see, the funnel has been built on that top side, so there's nowhere but for these dragons to go but in towards that Eagle Artillery. And unfortunately, there are a lot of skeletons over there distracting that one poor dragon who's just going to get, sort of stuck out there in no man's land. But as you can see, we still have 5 free spells left and 1 rage. We have a Grand Warden ability, and we have a whole mass of dragons. So the key is here, how can we use that to our advantage with a Stone Slammer that's just about to pop? Well, we can drop a free spell that gets an air defense and a single target inferno, and those balloons coming out of a rage will take care of both of them. We still have 3 free spells right now and another rage, and so that's going to be more than enough to get through this top area. This might be a little bit close, but with the Warden's ability, we should carry the day, right? So we rage those dragons, we freeze the single target inferno. We're probably going to have to drop a second free spell on it, I'd imagine, and this second free spell is perfectly placed. It gets the air defense and the expo and the single target inferno, just like we talked about in the plan. We're still holding onto that Warden's ability, and the Warden's going to pop his ability right there. And what that does is it allows all of those dragons, I think there's about 4 or 5 of them left, plus the E-Drag, to just sort of march on through there. Warden ability so perfectly timed that he survives 1 Seeking Air Mine and a whole bunch of Tesla Fire before the second one takes him down. And even after that Giga Tesla goes off, those dragons are low health, but the E-Drag saves the day and drives through everything. So this would be our second way to take down this common internet sort of layered base. And once this goes to 3-star, we'll head back to the drawing board. Alright, so we are back to the drawing board, and this time we're going to talk about the third way to take down this base. And to begin with, the only reason we're talking about this base so much is because it is a common internet base, and some unfortunate clan decided to run 8 of this base against us, so we used a bunch of different ways to take it down, and so I'm showing them to you today. But this version, our number 3 version, is sort of a double Electro Dragon Bowitch, courtesy of our boy Bergenson, who uses this attack strategy quite common. So I'm going to just put E for E-Drag, but his basic idea is to use 2 Electro Dragons, which is a lot of funneling space in my opinion, but it does do the trick to funnel, and so he's going to put 1 E-Drag there, and a secondary E-Drag sort of up here at the corner area, and again I cut that part off, but it gets a whole lot of chain lightning damage. And then what happens is you do come in with your Wall Wrecker. I will make the Wall Wrecker a black ram looking thing, so we'll just say that's our Wall Wrecker, and that's going in, right? And behind that you're going to have a whole bunch of bowlers and witches, so I'm just going to put B, W, and heroes, right? And so all of that's going to go right on into the base. You're also having a heal spell and a rage spell. You're probably going to want to do that on the entry. So we're going to say rage and then first heal. You should get through that amount of base. And Bergenson enjoys using the bat bomb. So I'm going to make my bat bomb a nice pink, because just to diversify things a little bit. And he's going to bat bomb the eagle. So you're going to see probably 4 or 5 bat spells, hence my swirly, in that area on the eagle artillery and that single target inferno. He has several free spells, but the idea is for the bats to sort of work their way around the base, and you'll see a free spell maybe on that wizard tower there and a secondary one on the wizard tower there. And eventually you'll have to pop your abilities sort of to get through that town hall area. And that's the idea, that your king and queen will eventually take down the town hall. The bats will do basically a bunch of damage on the defenses, and you'll have a sort of dead shot through the base with your main force of Wall Wrecker, bowlers, witches, and heroes. So now that we've talked about the plan, let's talk about how this works in practice. We're back, and we're going to watch Bergenson take down the legend, who wasn't that legendary, unfortunately for him. Like we said, he's going to start with his Electro Dragons on the funnel, and so you're going to see an E-Drag sort of on each side of where he wants to funnel, using that chain lightning to his advantage. We're going to put this on 2 times. He's going to come in with some Ice Golems. He's using some bowlers to wrap up the other side of the funnel, all of those witches and the Wrecker. And what's going to happen is he's basically going to just shove those troops right down the center of the base. He's built a nice funnel. There's nowhere for those troops truly to go but in, and so that's where they're going to go. He may lose a couple bowlers to that side building there, that anchor elixir storage, but that is all right because the majority of the troops went in. He does not bring a poison spell. He believes that he can rage his troops on through. He uses the warden ability a little bit early. Any second now, expect to see a bat bomb on that eagle artillery, because that is where it's going down. And there it is. He drops the bat bomb firstly on the single target inferno, and then he drops a free spell on the expo and wizard tower as these bats work their way through the base. And he drops a second freeze again there because the freeze expired a little bit early. Unfortunately, he ended up missing this archer tower, but a couple of bats did go back to look at it, and they still didn't quite get it. But look at those bats just sort of circling through the base, taking care of business, and doing their job as explained, you know. They all sort of die on that wizard tower, but that's all right. We do still have a queen, several witches, a couple of bowlers left. She's going to pop her ability to deal with the town hall, have a couple of ice golems and a P.E.K.K.A. on the top end, so that's plenty of free defense for your P.E.K.K.A. there. And this is more than enough to look at this. I mean, look at this base. It's absolutely wrecked. So we're going to put this up to 4 times, and we're just going to let it finish out. And then we will go back to the drawing board for our 4th and final way of how to take down this common internet base. Alrighty, we are back to the drawing board for our fourth and final style of attack strategy on this common internet base. And what we're going to see today is Moon Beast, which is the mini account of our co-leader Moon Cricket, attempt a Laloon with a suicide hero strike. Unfortunately for him, his suicide heroes do sort of backfire a bit. So his idea was basically send my heroes in there and get the town hall. Well, that doesn't go quite to plan. The plan was, as in the other attacks, for him to get the town hall, the queen, maybe the clan support, couple of these expos, something like that, right? Well, unfortunately, none of that happens. He ends up getting the queen, which is good, and he ends up getting that cannon and I think some of these trash buildings, so I'm just going to kind of draw a red line through them. But the town hall stays up, and so what that means is it forces him to deploy his Laloon a little bit differently than he had anticipated. So if you would get this, you could still use this pathing, if you were to get the town hall, but it'll just change the finish up a little bit. Moon didn't really divert his plan that much. He started with his slammer right here, which I'll put an S, and I'm also going to use this sort of, let's see if they still have the color. There it is. I like this color a lot for my lava hounds. He's going to send in 3 lava hounds. They're literally this lava color, sort of at these angles into the base, and they're going to be followed up with what I consider to be an absolute storm of balloons, possibly 30 plus loons coming in at sort of this corner angle, and the idea being for the balloons to path, hopefully in sort of this direction around the base. You'll have a couple of them break off this way, but you'll see from the pathing that most of them are going to go this way, where I'm accentuating with the red ink. And of course, the Grand Warden is going to be with the balloons. That was a writing, so I'm just going to put a big G up there, and you're going to use the sort of Grand Warden's ability as needed, and of course follow that up with as many and possible haste spells as you can, basically. Let's see what a good color for haste spell would be. Perhaps pink, because haste spells are kind of pink, right? So maybe we're going to see a haste right here, haste right there, and a haste right here, and again, we just sort of want to path around in the base. So now that we've talked about it in practice, or in theory, let's see how it actually applies to practice. We are with our final attack of this video, how to take down this common internet beast, and internet base, it's Moon Beast taking down Titan Champ. And so what you're going to see immediately is, as we talked about, this hero assault, this suicide hero move doesn't work out the way it was planned. You see the P.E.K.K.A, you see the king, you see the queen. It just wasn't quite enough. Those Teslas really do a number on his king. And part of that might be because his king is only level 56, Moon Beast being less than a month old at Town Hall 12. The freeze spell and the poison spell do enough damage on the CC to take care of most of it. However, it is not enough for the queen to get to that Town Hall. She does get the Teslas, and I think she might even get the Warden. But she does not get the Teslas, and forces him to use 2 free spells because she really wanted that Town Hall. It just didn't work out. So with that unfortunate change of plans, Moon's going to start from this top corner. He's going to send in those hounds just where we talked about them. There's the first hound. You're going to see the second hound right there, and there's the third hound. And the Stone Slammer and more balloons follow them. And he doesn't really need to haste them in because they're covered from the lava hound, right? A couple of those lava hounds pop. That's when he starts to use the rage. He uses his rage spell to sort of cover off that corner, and the pathing is now clear. They're going to go all the way around the base before they come back to the town hall. Maybe the Slammer will do some slight deviations, but not that much, right? And because of this, it's clear sort of how this pathing is going to play out. So I'm going to speed this up just a little bit, and you can see the pathing is just going to go all the way around in that nice little semicircle, right? A couple of balloons might break off to deal with that archer tower. No, I was mistaken. But we still have a rage spell, haste spell, and a Grand Warden ability to deal with that town hall. So he's going to wait till his balloons get over, use the haste spell, bomb goes off, rages loons, and his loons have to go all the way across the base to get that last single archer tower, which was a little bit of an issue in Bergensen's raid as well. But the Grand Warden takes care of business, and he has more than enough cleanup with 10 minions and a multitude of lava pups. So there you have it. That was 4 different ways to take down this common internet base, and I hope you guys learned a little bit today. This clan, I hope, learned the lesson of never running 8 of the same base again, because if we look down the line, I believe it was 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13 that were all the same base, and we ended up using that hog attack a lot. We found that to be the most reliable, but here are multiple ways to take down this base, and I hope that you can use them in your own war efforts at home. If you're interested in doing anything to support this channel, please like and subscribe. If you're interested in joining our clan, we're located at #8YOP2UUJ. We also have a Discord server, which I will link in the description. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.